Hi everyone, I'm Jen Kingwell and I thought today I would show you some of my favourite notions. So I thought I'd start off with the little simple seam wheel. It's just a little brass wheel that I use when I draft up my patterns. I'm cutting my pieces from template plastic. And when I draft, because I draft by hand, I don't have the seam allowance included in my drafted pattern. So I just cut my templates out as they are seen in the finished block, and then you have to add the seam allowance to it. So I'll just show you how this one works. You're always going to be tracing on the wrong side of your fabric, okay? And I always use a sandpaper board, which we have one here, just it's a lovely little board just with a medium grade sandpaper on it. And what it does is it grips or stops your fabric from distorting as you're going to trace around your template. So I pop my template down and using a pencil with a soft lead, I'm just going to trace around the edge of that template. That is going to become my stitching line when I put my blocks together. And then you just take this little wheel, it has a beveled edge on the top. That is so you can pop your pencil in there and maneuver it around. On the bottom side there's a tiny hole, and that is what's going to be onto the face of your fabric. So you pop it down, pop your pencil in the hole and just roll that little wheel around the edge of your template like so, and it gives you your perfect 1/4 inch seam allowance. So you now have your stitching line and your cutting line. And so the accuracy of putting the pieces together is just absolutely millimetre perfect. I would like to talk next about acrylic templates because I love these, and whenever I'll always make the first block out of my hand cut templates, but then once I know that it's a quilt that I'm going to be making and repeating, we cut acrylic templates. So every pattern of mine, the acrylic templates are mostly an added extra. All my patterns and pattern booklets will have the drawing of the templates in the back of them that you can cut from cardboard or template plastic, but then we do cut acrylic templates for everything. I love them, they're millimetre perfect, but you use them in a very similar manner. It's just that the first line you draw with these, of course, is going to be your cutting line because the 1/4 inch seam allowance is included. So I'm just going to trace around the edge, which is my cutting line, mark the little registration holes with my pencil, pull the template from side to side, join the dots to get my 1/4 inch seam allowance. Really easy for straight lines because that's all you're going to do. But people sort of wonder how you're going to mark the 1/4 inch in on your template when you've got a curved surface. All you need to do is look at your pattern and find the corresponding template. So the one that is going to stitch to each other, and you use the etched 1/4 inch line of the corresponding template and draw in your 1/4 inch seam allowance like so. So these are so easy to use. They're my preference. As I said, I do make blocks with my hand cut, but then I will swap to these because I love them. And we have lots, as I said, every pattern has some, but then we will do them for just single blocks and things like that. So next we'll talk about some tempters. I do get asked quite often what I mean by a tempter, and it was just a funny little name we came up with. It's a template and we thought that we could tempt you into making a single block with them. So a lot of them are just, you can buy, this is a block out of my Delilah pattern, but a lot of people saw this and thought they would love to make this as a repeat block quilt, so they don't want to buy the entire acrylic template set for the entire quilt if they're just going to be making one block. So that, if you ever see these hanging in a store and you see the word tempter, you know that this is what they're about, just a single block acrylic templates, and the instructions are printed on the inside of the packaging so that you can just make up that one block and make as many of them as you like. So that was the whole idea behind the tempters, and I love them. I quite often, when I'm making a sampler style quilt, there will be just one block that speaks to you and you think that I want to make that and make it over and over again. So that's what tempters are all about. We also do acrylic just some little add-ons. So these are the building blocks. So what these are is just the 2 templates that make the surround. So you can put any 8-inch finished block in the middle. So sometimes we have orphan blocks when we've made extra blocks or blocks that haven't quite made it into a project. And you have a whole heap of these. You think, what am I going to do with them? I'll pop them in the centre and make this up. So this first template creates the circle, and then there's this squaring frame. And that you know, it's just a really good way you can build a whole sampler quilt out of these. So we have them for a 6-inch finished block, an 8-inch finished block, so they'd be 6.5, 8.5 with the seam allowance. And we also do them for a charm square, so that you can pop a charm square in the middle. So they're just a really fun way to use up any bits and pieces that you might have left over. The other thing that we have been cutting, which are just some little tools that will help you with different things. So this is a little applique tool that I use when I want to do a little border, a little sawtooth border or a scallop border. You literally just draw around these. They have different markings in the centre of the template that help you line it up so that you can have your scallop with a deep base or a really shallow base, whatever you want. So I use this for applique, that's what that one's for. And this one, the Baptist fan quilting ruler, is just to help you mark the Baptist fan design onto your quilt top. And we're going to be doing a little video on hand quilting, so we'll talk more about that when we cover that. So probably my favourite notion is my block wrap, which is just like a portable design wall. There are 6 15-inch sheets in it, and it has a little felt on the top surface. The undersurface is plasticized so that it doesn't pick up the pieces from the next block. So when I'm traveling, or even when I'm just stitching at home, I just cut out my pieces for my block and arrange them how I want them, and I can get 6 blocks in each wrap. I've got several of these that I travel with, and it's just all ready to go. I can be on a plane, I don't have to have my scissors with me, but I also use it at home when I'm just stitching on the couch, because my lovely puppy dog sometimes is a little like a stealth bomber, and if I've got this soft wrap on my lap, she doesn't upset all my pieces. So I use it literally all the time. I absolutely love it. So the other thing I love is Aurifil thread. I genuinely believe it's the best thread on the market, and I use it for all my stitching. So the team at Aurifil do a wonderful job putting these box sets of colours together. So my last block of the month from a couple of years ago was Burrows and Bows, and that was the thread set that they did for that. My block of the month that's going to start fairly soon is called Pick a Petal, and so we've done this wonderful thread set. I'll just take the outside cover off and you can see just how lovely it looks inside. So there are 2 little boxes. One of them is 80 weight so that you can complete all the applique in the quilt, and the other one is the 12 weight for hand quilting or embellishment. So I love these little box sets. I think they're gorgeous. A wonderful way to just buy a really curated set of thread colours. So of course, if you're using beautiful Aurifil thread, you need a lovely needle to stitch with. So I have this range, just a very small range of needles. I stitch with a Milliner's 11 for hand piecing and for applique. We do a Milliner's 10 as well. The only reason we really do that is some people find the Milliner's 11 a little hard to thread because it is quite a fine needle with a small hole. So we do the Milliner's 10, which is just a little not quite as fine as the 11, and we do a chenille 26 needle, which is what I use with the 12 weight Aurifil thread for hand quilting. So they're the 3 needles that we do. I love them. They're really, all of them glide through the fabric beautifully, really easy and lovely to use. Of course, always remember, both with thread for needles for hand stitching and thread, the higher the number, the finer the thread or needle is going to be. We also do some postcard projects. These started as just a little fun way when we were cutting acrylic templates for a particular project. Sometimes there was just a small portion of the sheet of acrylic, and I hate waste. So we started to cut these little shapes just generic shapes that, you know, hexagons, squares, triangles, things like that, that you can use to make little small projects out of. So we have all sorts of different shapes. I think we're up to 18 different shapes in these now. Lots of things that you can make and do. They look cute in your sewing room, just sort of, they're a nice little decorative item if you don't even want to stitch with them. But lots of people will just use the hexagon or the square and make things. And then I thought, well, if people are buying lots of these, they might want some ideas about what you could do if you had several to join them together. So we started to do these little postcard partners. And what they are, so this one is just 3 of the different postcard projects. A little sailboat one. This is really cute. When I first did this one, I made a Christmas tree out of it, but Nat, who works with me, she saw sailboats, so she made this little sailboat quilt out of it, which is really cute. So it takes, I think it's 3 or 4 of the postcard projects in that one, and then there's the Catherine wheel that are different, some of the different ones put together. So they're just some ideas about how you can use the postcard projects, and the instructions for these blocks are printed on the inside of the packaging so that you can put these together. I've started to do some small projects too, because I realise not everybody wants to tackle a quilt. As I said, when you start, sometimes that larger project seems a bit daunting. So we have lots of little things. We do just some zippy pouch patterns. I've just finished doing a show. This Santa sack was incredibly popular, and a lot of people said to me, a great laundry sack too for your children going off to college or whatever. So I mean, I did it, my girls all had one of these when they were little to put all their toys and things in, and they used it for that. I love cushions. We do a lot of cushions, and we have them, I have them on the sofa at home, but they're a lovely way too to start. Nice small project, you get them done really quickly, great for using up those scraps and bits and pieces that you've got left over from a larger project as well. Show Me Your Tips is just a little booklet that I've done with just lots of little hints and tips in it. It doesn't go into anything in any great depth, but it's just a little reminder. A lot of people will bring this when they do a class with me, and then they'll make notes on different things that I might add, things that aren't in here that we add as content for class content. Some of our templates, as I think I mentioned, come just as templates, and then we have pattern and templates. So there's quite a variety of things. Always check on the bottom of the packaging to make sure that the pattern is included with them. So this is a relatively new quilt that I've just done the pattern for. So most of my quilts that are sort of a sampler style quilt with lots of blocks, we do as a pattern booklet, just because there is so much information in them. So the pattern is, all the how to make each block at the front, and then the templates are in the back of the book for you to cut and out of your template plastic or your cardboard, however you're going to make the templates. I do cater for machine pieces. It's not that my love, as you all know, but we do have a few patterns that are just rotary cut machine pieced as well, like the Wanderer's Wife, which I'll just show you. All right, so that's Wanderer's Wife. And one of the other pattern booklets that I just have here is the Burrows and Bows pattern booklet. While I say I am not a machine piecer, and I do sometimes resort to machine, but I know a lot of you love machine stitching far more than hand stitching. So we have developed a range of foundation papers. Some of them go with an existing pattern, some of them they're an added extra. We will do the templates for the hand pieces, but we have also adapted and produced some foundation papers that will go along with the pattern as well. So they're great for machining, and we have a blank pad for if you're wanting to make up your own foundation papers as well. So thanks so much for joining me while I just talked about all my favourite tools and things that I love to use. If you are wanting any of these, please check out your local quilt store. That's where you're going to find any of my notions that I use. And stay tuned, because we're going to do some more fun videos.